Hello, welcome back, everybody. We are here live on the Saints Gaming CA channel, looking to get started with some Rainbow Six Siege action in the Collegiate R6. First time, or first matchup in the winter season. It's going to be a short season, but it is probably still going to have all the fireworks that we're going to be looking for. Of course, our St. Clair College squad is going up against the Universite de Montreal in best of 3 action, starting very shortly here. My name, of course, Dan Banner, also known as Mr. Danner's, looking to bring you guys the action here tonight, as this is going to be the first time I believe both of these teams have played each other in any series, let alone the Collegiate R6. But I do also want to give a little bit of context to what's going to be happening here for these Collegiate R6 matches and what the season is going to look like. Moving forward here, starts off, we're in small 4-team groups. As of right now, St. Clair, we're technically the second seed in our group. But who's first seed, of course? Akron. So, of course, the one team that's won it all before. In the last season, we put up a hell of a good fight, but could not quite seal the deal up against them last time. But, of course, also in our group is our opponents tonight, the Universite de Montreal, as well as Virginia Tech. I believe it's going to be either the top or the top 2 from each division get to move on into a playoff format. Once I get the confirmation on that, I'll be sure to let everybody know. But that's what it's looking like. We're going to have 3 weeks of action here every Friday at 8:30 for the next couple weeks. And then once that completes, it just depends on whatever the playoff format is that they're going to be using for this season. As of right now, just trying to get everybody up into the lobby. It looks like everybody's just about to get underway, so we shouldn't have to wait too much longer. But I do want to go over the maps that have been selected here that we're going to be playing on tonight. Starting things off, Saints are going to start on the attack on Clubhouse, a rather fan favorite map, I believe, for most of the competitive community. Then we move into Game 2. Game 2 is going to be Saints starting on defense on Cafe. And of course, Cafe is one of, I think, St. Clair's favored, or not favored, but one of their more preferred maps alongside Clubhouse. So they had a good start. And then, of course, if we do end up going to a game number 3, that's when I'm going to start getting worried, because we then have to play on Oregon, which is one of those maps that in the past have been extremely hit or miss for St. Clair. And being completely honest, majority of the time they have been misses. So I'm hoping that, well, for the St. Clair side of things, either if this does end up going to a Game 3 scenario, get to see. They've had a lot of time to actually practice, and I'm sure with Oregon being shown up a lot more often in competitive matches, I'm sure they've practiced that one up a bunch as of late. One thing to note as well before we do get into the action is there has been a bit of a roster change compared to what you would have saw from our Saints R6 squad during the fall. Unfortunately we no longer have Rapid on the team. But that being said, to fill in his shoes is going to be Miracle. So looking forward to seeing how that happens. Miracle had a couple matches early in the fall season, but didn't get to play it too much, but gets to move up here today. And speaking of rosters, why don't we actually introduce our St. Clair squad? Of course, we do have, of course, coach, captain, player. We have Jake Briand, that's JM Beast. We then have Ethan Farrow, that's Domo, or Domo Cookie Bear, as it looks like we have here in the lobby. And of course, we have Miracle, that is Matthew Mallon. And we have Big Papa, Noah King. And last but not least, we have Kira, Noah Alders. Should be the starting lineup here. And on the side of Universite de Montreal, we do have Platts in the lobby as of right now, but we're still waiting for the rest of them. They still have a little bit of time here, it looks like, to get all settled in. But I know, definitely looking forward to this matchup tonight. It's been a good while since we got to see any Rainbow Six action. And okay, here comes a couple more. We have Max Payne here for Montreal as well. So a few things to take note of. So we are on, or as of the latest patch, we do have a couple new operators. When we were looking at the last season, Zero was permabanned alongside Echo but Echo was more due to bugs. They are both now on the playing field now. Echo, you can use them now. Zero, new operator. He's done his time in a research penitentiary of sorts to get him into competitive viability. However, for bans now, everyone's favorite Lord Tachanka, he got a rework. He's no longer just a silly operator that sits on the quarter with a turret and just fires away. That is essentially completely useless in competitive play. He has gotten a complete rework, and with a rework that's significant, that would basically count as another operator being added to the game. So there's still some time before he's allowed in competitive. And then there is, of course, a newer operator for this season, Aruni, who is also in process of becoming competitively eligible once, I believe it's the 2 or 3 month mark of the operator's release comes out. We do have a couple more members. Looks like we have the full roster here from the Universite de Montreal now. We do have, of course, we had Platts from earlier. We have Max Payne. We have Smaj? I'll figure that one out shortly. Then we have Silence, and we have Bananas on the side of Montreal. But with everybody in the lobby, let's see if everybody is ready here. Uh-oh. Somebody disconnected real quick. So this one should be starting up very shortly here. Should be within the next 2 or 3 minutes. So while we quickly fix this lobby up, I'm going to just throw to the quickest of breathers. Won't be very long. Game number 1, right around the corner between St. Clair and Universite de Montreal. Be sure to stick around for it. We'll be right back. All right, let's hop into this one. Game number 1, St. Clair College versus Universite de Montreal. Getting into the ban phase here on Clubhouse. First one gone, taken away by Montreal is going to be Maverick. Get rid of him right off the start. Pretty standard stuff here so far. Now we get to see St. Clair picking up 2 operators off the board for themselves. Thatcher, tried and true. It seems like just getting rid of that EMP grenade from Thatcher is so critical in so many holds. Being able to shut down so many gadgets, stop bandit tricking. Like, there's just so much that Thatcher can do. Definitely don't blame St. Clair for taking him off the board. getting rid of the Cade as well, removing some electrified reinforcements as well, keeping that off the board for both sides, making it so that if you want to electrocute or electrify a barrier, you need to have the bandit in order to do so. And Maluzi is going to end up being the final ban here once again. Seems like maybe a season later, but still an absolute menace here on the side, or on the side of the attackers. Switch things up here and see who the first picks for these teams are going to end up being.
Attackers need to locate and defuse as many.
All right, here we go. Starting off on the bottom side, right here in the basement. Defense is going to be held by the Universite de Montreal, rather. I am going to stumble on that one multiple times. Do not hate me, everybody. But we do get to see it's going to be Platts picking up the pulse right away, looking to make some plays. Max Paney on the smoke for some late game assistance. Silence as well here on the mute. Try and shut down additional sightlines here from any drones getting inside. We do have Smasho with the Legion, and then Bananas with the Jaeger. And Jaeger, I believe, I'm not sure if this is 100% live yet. We'll figure it as we go along. But Jaeger was on the chopping block for getting some changes. We've seen Jaeger pretty much in every single round of almost every single competitive match because he's utility at the ADS systems. Being able to just shut down 3 grenades was so critical in pretty much every single round that he was always a must pick. However, if the changes that I was thinking of are going live or are live here in this patch, they made the change that the ADSs can shoot as many grenades as they want down, but they're all within a 10-second cooldown. Beforehand, what you'd oftentimes see is somebody throw 3 grenades in to completely shut off the ADS, and then you stack 2 of those, and by all means, there is absolutely like no utility left for the attackers, making it quite difficult. But on the St. Clair side of things, we do have Big Papa, so we ride along with him on the Twitch drone. Looks like just a regular drone, but it does have that little extra taser charge, which could take out any gadgets or deal 10 damage to an opponent if it does get spotted. Kira from the rooftops here trying to get an angle to break through these reinforced walls, but it seems to be getting messed with at least a little bit, but one Hexcaro's charge is going to go down. You see Domo looking to try and follow up off of some of these charges as well, playing a little bit of a vertical game here above this basement site, right around the B site here. Let's see if Domo can find an angle onto somebody. We do have Mirko actually taking shots. That is towards the doorway downstairs, so he's looking to try and maybe make himself a flank. Yeah, of course, Domo playing the sledge, making this gigantic sledgehammer work for him. And just add a bunch of additional sightlines onto the sites, but of course, those sightlines go both ways. Definitely have to be careful of that. Domo finds one. JMB's going to finish him up, actually. Platts getting taken down before he had the opportunity to even use his Nitro Cell. So the pulse pick going to essentially to waste here to start things off. JMB's jumping in, but he's going to be met with by a Legion Trap. Domo is getting a kill onto Max Paney. We do have some back and forth battles here, and there's going to be another one, but actually that is going to go over to the side of Montreal. A 3-on-2 with the diffuser currently down. Kira does end up getting dropped in this mess. Domo and JMB. There's Domo. He does find silence. It's all up to Smasho, and he's right on the B site. Does find one. If he could somehow secure Domo, then he can get this diffuser just in time. But of course, time ticking down. Domo just has to make sure that he can stay alive long enough to force Smasho to try and stop this diffuser and then just pick him off for free. Of course, 10 seconds, just has to keep on stalling out, doing what he needs to. Frag grenade coming out. looking to see if he was taking a shot at that diffuser, and sure enough, right as Smasho goes to defuse, Domo is right there ready with that submachine gun, takes care of Smasho, and takes care of round number 1 for the Saints. Now, St. Clair may have gotten themselves a solid start on that one, but that was still extremely doable on the side of Universite de Montreal. It was right around the corner. Unfortunately there for Smasho, just with Domo being up on the high ground, there was no way that he can easily try to contest him, take him out from below. And Domo wasn't getting eager, wasn't getting overzealous, stayed back, made sure he did not get shot down, and sure enough, was able to clean it up in the end. But this round, this game can easily flip around nice and quick. Of course, we're just getting started here tonight. We could be in for the long haul with this best of 3. One player we really didn't get to see get started was Platz on the side of Universite de Montreal, as his pulse got basically taken out first before anything really got the opportunity of getting started. And with pulse being one part playmaker, one part in intelligence gatherer,
10 seconds.
you almost feel like that nitro cell should come into play at some point during every single round and usually secure a kill almost all the time. But did not end up securing it this time. He switches over to the Vigil, another roamer. We have ourselves a flanking style character as well, with the basement being the site of attack again here or the site of the defense here for Montreal. With the Vigil being on a completely different area, catch St. Clair off guard maybe. Could be a good operation of attack here for Platz if he can find himself the right position. Saints not changing anything up in regards to their attack, however. Beast back on the ace as well. Kira on the Habana once again, as we do see the Hexcaro's charges, confirming that it's the basement site once again here, and does spot somebody else set up in the corner. So it can allow Miracle, Domo, or possibly Big Papa get ready to move forward here in this attack. Going to use some charges as well to go through the underground pathway. Will lead right into the site if they're allowed to walk all the way through. But that is a pretty well defended area most of the time, especially as we see right there, Kira pointing it out for us actually, that one of the players on the side of Universite de Montreal sitting there right behind the ADSs, and sure enough it is actually changed. We just got to see it actually in action there. The old ADS systems from Jaeger would have stopped the second stun grenade going in, but it stopped the one, then it went on cooldown for about 10 seconds. So you no longer have to just spam everybody's utility in order to get something to happen. You can clear one out unless they stack more than one ADS in one area, then you just have to deal with 2 of them. They are looking for the slightest of angles here. Miracle actually, Matthew Mallon looking to try and move forward in this one. Sees the one player behind, gets caught up by a bit of a stun grenade though. Thankfully for himself, he's not going to get messed up in the meantime, but there is a lot of crossfire. Miracle finding one, but Big Papa goes down as well. Traded 1 for 1. JMB's knocked down on the ground as well. Kira's still up top, trying to find the angle onto some of these players, but still, they have a 3v3 on this one. Miracle coming in hot here with a nice triple. Kira gets the opportunity to get this diffuser down, and that was a huge play on the side of the Saints, on the side of Miracle, to be able to bring it down. That diffuser did not get put down, however. Bananas coming in clutch right at the last moment to stop that from happening. Unfortunately, Miracle gets jumped on. Bananas finding himself for a solid round. I'm popping off for the triple. Bananas one-upping me with the quadra. Solid play here from Bananas on the Mozzie to secure Universite de Montreal's first round win in this game. Oh, I was just saying that it could easily just flip around based off of execution, and Montreal coming in clutch, showing it off. Now, with the basement taken off the table, it's going to be off to CCTV, which is usually the starting point for defenders here on this map, but we'll have to see what they end up trying here this time. Banana's taking over the Jaeger duty, and we do see possibly the third operator pick from Platts in just as many rounds. The Valkyrie looking to be locked in via the 6th pick. So you go from a super defensive operator with a castle that was selected initially and switches it off to one of the more aggressive operators on the defensive side of things, of course that being Valkyrie. Now that we're on the new site as well, we'll see Smajo there with the Bandit. Of course, the Cade was taken off the plate for additional electrifications. So it's going to be all up to the Bandit to put the batteries on as many of these reinforced walls as he sees fit. And probably save one for himself as well to try and bait out some utility from St. Clair and do some Bandit tricking on these walls. But off to the attacking side of things, St. Clair sticking to the same composition once again. Getting all set up. Normally for this site, they tend to split up a little bit. 2 or 3 go through the front door, and then 2 or 3 tend to go around the back. Usually that's what you'll see Kiri doing, and that's exactly what's going to be the case right here. Getting some different angles towards these, the backside garages. But there is a player on the side of Universite de Montreal up in the high ground. Up on the catwalk, so that could be something to be careful of. We do see Miracle actually starting to pop some of those stun grenades up into a catwalk, expecting that there's somebody up there, and he would be right, but it's wise on the Montreal player to just keep his head down in that situation. Miracle making himself known so far in this one. Kira in the back as well. Shots fired back and forth a little bit here between him and one of the University of Montreal's players. Big Papa in the building. Domo still from outside. Miracle moving forward a little bit as well, but taking his time. Kira, Jam, Beast, both just finding their smarks. Normally, this is the hole that you kind of want to go through. You want to bust through this door, but of course, that is exactly why you have the Bandit. And Silence, actually, on the smoke, finding himself a kill here on to Miracle. So Miracle taken down rather quickly before the final push does occur. Just a little bit above a minute left. Domo getting peppered on. Not going to go down just yet. Tries to keep fighting, but he is going to get taken down. Platts come in and clutch, getting his first kill of the game, living on a thread of HP. Solid job there to win that battle. Now, this is a tall task here for St. Clair. Jambeast and Kira still along the back side, and they're the only ones left as Platts finds himself another one as he gets the jump on to, I believe that was Big Papa or Domo, one of the two. But solid job from the defense, and Kira gets taken down. Platts really showing up to play. He got 3 kills with 1 HP. That is some value right there, ladies and gentlemen. And JM Beast and actually Max Payne, they're both going to trade headshots onto each other. But with JM Beast being the last one alive, that is going to give this win over to Universite de Montreal as they take the lead for the first time here in this series. Montreal had a bit of a rough first round, but ever since then, they have been on the gas and making it work. That basement defense was solid. That CCTV defense looked almost convincing. Like very, very well done, only losing the 1 member. And the fact that Platts finally stepped up and went absolutely nuts there on the Valkyrie, getting himself, I think that was either 2 or 3 kills in that round alone. It was 3 kills on that round, so solid job there, of course. But we're now going to the second floor, but not to CCTV again. You can't go back to the one that you've won on yet. So up into the gym this time by. And then I don't know if Platts is trying to do a A to Z operator run while this match is happening or what, but we're now on his fourth character, or fourth operator in 4 rounds, this time picking up the Ella for some additional disruption via her Grismont mines. I think I've said it before when trying to explain Ella, but if you get hit by one of her mines, she basically makes you drunk. You're waddling around, you can't see straight, and if you're trying to win a gunfight in that scenario, you are probably toast. And we do see silence as well on the Goyo. That's something different here for this round specifically. Esmajo picking up the castle for a little extra stalling, a little bit of extra like pathway disruption, I suppose you can say. Clearing the way for Big Papa's drone, and just in time actually. That may have seemed minimal, but that actually got rid of one of the bandit batteries. And Big Papa gonna wait for the cue from St. Clair, try and squeak in there, does find another battery. So wasting 2 batteries on the side of Montreal is going to allow them to start breaching through this reinforced wall, essentially uncontested. Miracle was able to tag up Max Payne a little bit. Just a touch, though. Still above half HP, though. Still has 1 battery in hand as well. So even though that first area of defense didn't exactly go as planned, he is going to be able to retreat and go backwards, still with that battery. That being said, Big Papa now without any Twitch drones moving forward, so he's going to have to be scouted in for, or one of his teammates is going to have to scout him in to move forward. Otherwise, you're running him blind, and as soon as you run out of information, you're basically dead, and Platt's going to find Miracle. Now, the one thing that those castle barricades, of course, do not hold up well against is a sledgehammers, and that is going to be where Domo Cookie Bear comes in clutch, able to go through those barriers nice and quick. But that being said, with Miracle being down already, once again, St. Clair stuck down real fast, and actually Banana's getting extremely aggressive. Looks for the run out, but a nice shutdown from Kira, repelled up on the high ground. Picks that one up. Max Payne, though, finds JM Beast, and that was the diffuser carrier for St. Clair. So with 45 seconds left on the clock, somebody's going to have to try and contest that, and Big Papa's going to be the first one to start things off. Smash going down. We do see the diffuser on site. We see Domo taking down Max, so now 2 on 3, but you still have to pick up that diffuser. Big Papa moving forward to try and make it happen. He is getting shot upon. Domo blasted away by a shotgun from Silence. Platts and Silence looking to make it work, and a huge play coming out of both Platts and Silence, rather, as the Nitro Cell finished off the one member with the diffuser, and there we have Platts as well, picking up the other elimination as well. Universite de Montreal looking solid here now that they've gotten themselves all warmed up. Enough rounds has passed as well to allow them to go back to a site that they've won on in the past. Going back down to the basement for round number 5, and it looks like operator number 5 here for Platts is going to be Alibi. Platts is playing essentially everybody here in this matchup, apparently. You see a switch up coming out here from Max Payne as well, because we see Echo for the first time in a long time here in the CR6. He's been banned for so long, and we're actually going to see him finally get some play. Being able to pilot some yokai drones, these little drones that you can fire up onto the ceiling and stick. Acts as a camera, but it also can shoot you for about, I think it's either 5 or 10 damage. And it acts as a stun as well, so it can stop defuses from happening. So you save that for the last possible moment when the clocks run out. As we see here, just putting it in the proper position, so if somebody tries to put a defuse down, just tag them with the drone and it's stopped. It can be absolutely brutal. or
out to
last
locate a bomb and defuse it.
moment pushes from St. Clair. Yeah, St. Clair looking to stop the bleeding after a couple rounds really falling out of favor there for them. That last one was extremely competitive, extremely close, but still one solid play coming out of Universite de Montreal. Finished off 3 of the members of St. Clair, with only 2 of themselves. Big Papa getting peppered down extremely quickly from the window. Hello, Bananas, picking him off nice and quick. A nice little jump onto St. Clair. And St. Clair once again down a player as we move forward in this attack. Still 2 minutes to make something happen, but they have to play this extremely slow now.
A bomb has been located.
Miracle trying to find a head from somebody. Maybe get a sneaky little elimination there, but not going to find anybody. And it looks like Domo's the only one even remotely inside the building right now for St. Clair. Really taking their time trying to move forward. This basement is rather rough to crack. A solid shot there from Domo, however. Picks off the head of Silence. Nicely done there. Now with the 4-on-4, St. Clair might be feeling a little bit more enticed to get a move on, especially since they have only a minute 20 left on the clock in this round.
Launching drone.
Quiet couple seconds there on the side of St. Clair, as Domo's still the only one inside. Actually, no, got a couple more in here. Domo's finally got some reinforcements. JM Beast is right here alongside him. Will JM Beast be the one to dive in? In fact, he's going to be the one to do so. He dives in. He does start putting the diffuser down, but with Miracle up top, try and stop it. He sees the Nitro Cell, but can he stop it? He does not stop it in time. He could not find the shots necessary, so the diffuser is just lying on the ground, completely unarmed as of this moment. Domo in a bit of a battle as well elsewhere in the building. The Miracle, the only one around to even pick this one up. He gets hit by the LMI, and he is absolutely stunned up. Gets smoked. We do have ourselves a 2-on-3. Domo finds himself a triple here in this round. Really trying to make this work. 2v2, 10 seconds left. Really right now, Montreal, they just have to run for the hills and then try to pick off the diffuser when the time comes. Right now, Domo has it in hands. He's going to switch the sights. Can he sneak it in time? No, the person is right there. Max Payne coming in clutch for the side of Universite de Montreal to secure that round. Was able to win the 1v2. And of all of the people he had to take out, he took out the right target, whether he knew it or not. By taking down the diffuser, there was absolutely nothing St. Clair could do in that situation. As they drop that round as well, the basement going over to Montreal as they start running away with this a little bit here, starting up this this brutal defense. Of course, this is halftime, however. One more round of attack here for St. Clair before we switch things up. Hoping for the sake of St. Clair that their defense is maybe a little bit more solid compared to the attack. But I say that there has just been such small, minor errors that have cost entire rounds, it feels like. And it's brutal to see. On the elimination side of things, we do have Bananas and Domo leading the squad here. And then all of a sudden, after a brutal first 2 rounds, Platts coming up and leading in terms of the points in this game. Not only finding some eliminations, but making his utility work as well.
Seconds left before insertion. 5 seconds left before insertion. Attackers must locate and defuse a bomb.
Now we have a cheeky play off the start. Platts, what on the world are you trying to do? Okay, just trying to get a camera out. Because of course that is something that you can do as Valkyrie, get a sneaky little camera by just throwing it outside once the round starts. Here I thought somebody was going for a spawn peek or something cheeky like that, but no. In all reality, it was a pretty standard Valkyrie play. It can be a little bit risky, however, if you do get spotted and just get shot out of the skies right away, but Platt's going to be able to pull it off and just add that much more extra vision, extra information for the side of Montreal. Okay, so we have Kira and Domo down in the building as of right now. Miracle is there as well. JMB's trying to get everybody droned in. Big Papa kind of by his lonesome here on the other side. Looking to try to get something started. Actually, Kira going to be able to get something started as he does take down Silence. The smoke taken off the table extremely quickly in this round. Nicely done there. Although a little bit of an over-eager push here from Kira. As soon as he hops the wall, Max Payne sitting there ready and waiting. Lights him up like it's nobody's business. Three of the St. Clair members still pushing forward, though. Jam Beast with the diffuser in hand. Still a little bit timid on the outside. Shots fired, and it's actually going to be Jam Beast going down after Platts does end up making a bit of an aggressive play and takes out JM Beast. And there's another one going down as well. Max Payne really coming into play these last couple rounds, taking out Domo. We have ourselves a 4-on-2 now on the favor of Universite de Montreal. Big Papa kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place, looking to try and contest. It was the slightest of holes that they're peeking him through here. Wisely waiting for Miracle. If there's somehow a way they're going to do this, they're going to have to try and do this together. But Big Papa is going to get mowed down before he even gets the opportunity to. Miracle does get one. A 1v3. Not impossible, but damn, is this going to be difficult. Trying to just smoke him. He does find the one. He's got to be careful. Any of those little holes, he can spot you through. 14 seconds left on the clock. He needs to go on an absolute spree right here, right now. But he's run out of options as Smasho right there ready and waiting with the nitro cell as well. The cheeky little toss through the hole. Something so non-threatening. You see just a little hole in the wall. Oh, that can't be that big of a deal until they're throwing a nitro cell through it. You never think to look there until it's too late. All right, other than round number 1, this has been absolutely brutal for this side of St. Clair. Right now, Universite de Montreal looking absolutely cracked out here in this matchup, taking a nice 5-1 lead. Of course, first to get to 7 is going to win this matchup unless it ends up becoming a 6-6 scenario. Because then overtime is the thing. But looking at the scores right now, the likelihood of that being the case is rather either unlikely or rather surprising, depending on how optimistic you are here. But we got to see if this St. Clair defense can pull the strings properly. And then this will be interesting. I know I'm already excited. We do see Silence pulling out Zero, one of the newer operators here in Rainbow Six Siege. First time we get to see him in a competitive setting for Collegiate, so looking forward to seeing how that works here. JM Beast, actually, he's not on the Maestro this time. It's actually going to be Miracle picking that one up. That was JM Beast's go-to character for the longest time. Kira on the Bandits, Big Papa on the Jaeger, and Domo is in Rapid's old shoes. Ready and waiting here with the smoke. Shotgun ready and waiting. And I'm sure we'll see him hiding in a closet sometime soon, ready to pop out and surprise the ongoing attackers. If I recall correctly here, Zero's gadget can basically shoot through a wall, and it ends up being a camera pointed out on the other side.
Attackers have located a bomb.
Really, excuse me, really critical for getting quick peeks. And we do see Platts here. He's been aggressive pretty much the most of any player here today. But now picking up a more utility operator here in the IQ, looking to take down as much of the Saints' utility as possible. And they have quite a bit of it, so that IQ is extremely valuable right here, right now. And Max Payne actually sharking from below here with the Zolfia. A nice little change of pace here from what we normally see that operator being used as. Yeah, sure enough, is able to shoot right through, get the camera out. You can take another look if necessary. We do see Big Papa bouncing back and forth. Miracle actually finds himself one, finds himself two. Next thing, it's going to be Kira securing kill number 2. So a nice turnaround here for momentum for St. Clair. Possibly their opportunity to stop some of the bleeding that's been happening in this matchup if they can close this round out. Kira ready and waiting. We know that there's a player on their side, but they probably don't know until just right here, right now. Kira's probably a little bit sus onto that. Montreal slowing it down just a touch here as we move forward to the last minute of play in this first attack. Kira still has one of the players pinched, however, he does not know that for sure. They're going to try and crawl out. He might see the forearm of the player. He actually did not make contact, and he's actually going to lose that fight. A huge play here from Silence on the Zero. Smash finding one as well. Jambeast was able to secure one, did take down the diffuser holder. There's still 2 members left to go. Silence, who's already been doing well. Bananas does go down. It's all up to Silence, who does end up going down. Jambeast coming in clutch here for the Saints as he picks up a double to clean up this round. The halftime switch of roles coming in clutch here for St. Clair. If they want to somehow take this game home, they essentially just have to keep their foot on the gas floored all the way to the end of this one. Keep it up and see if they can make the pass later on in this round, because there is still a lot of time to go and they do not have very much room for error, being down 2-5 here on Clubhouse. Miracle thinking about a Vigil pick. We don't have any Maestros on the side of St. Clair, which, like I was saying before, tends to be a staple on St. Clair for the most part, especially for Jambeast, but we're not going to see it this time by. Going to stick to the Valkyrie, it looks like.
As many bombs as they can.
New feed
10
up.
seconds left before insertion. 5 seconds left before insertion. Attackers must locate and defuse a bomb.
Lined up and ready to go here for the round number 8. We do see Platts from going to the utility operator to one of the most aggressive operators in terms of entry fragging, bringing the Ash out here this time by. Super quick with lots of soft destruction. Utility.
The attacker's bomb
A
diffuser
smash out
has been
here with the
dropped.
thermite as well. Could possibly look to break into this underground area. Looks like that's exactly what he's going to be opting to do, considering they're going towards the basement. This is exactly where they want to be. Max Payne going to be on the IQ duty this time by. Does actually spot one of the St. Clair members, and that's, of course, one of the cute things that you can do with IQ and catch the Saints off guard. When you pull out your phone to look at a camera on defense, that counts as using a gadget, and it lights up in the IQ scanner. So if the player can identify that that is in fact a player holding a gadget, if you pop a couple shots towards them, you very well might take them down. And you can see Max Payne really looking for these extra shots. He's finding a lot of gadgets in the meantime as well, really making St. Clair's life is difficult here, trying to hold this basement, and is basically playing the role that St. Clair's Sledge would constantly be doing, using these breaching charges instead. Only has the 3 of them, but put them in 3 rather critical areas, and you can do it to pretty much similar effects to play a vertical game above the basement.
Here we go. August position.
And then, of course, Platts between the breaching rounds that Ash carries and the breaching charges can do a lot of the exact same thing. As you can see, this floor is an absolute mess here for St. Clair to try and deal with. But with a minute left, the only battles that's really happened here is a little bit of damage onto Silence. And one thing good to note is those Silence cameras actually will activate an ADS. You can fire one of those off and then start spamming in your grenades on top of that.
Target located.
Smash over the carrier, looking like he's going to try and finally get towards the site. The rest of Universite de Montreal looking to get ready to push as well. They do not give themselves much time here. These last couple seconds, Smasho has the charge ready to go. Gonna blow the hole, but this is exactly why you want to carry a smoke. They've waited so long that it's going to be an absolute kerfuffle to try and finish this one off. Kira's going to find one, Miracle going to find one. Big Papa fighting from the side as well, and it's just an absolute bloodbath. I missed like 3/4 of that. I do apologize. Or we're trying to find it. JMB's going to find bananas. And basically, Montreal didn't give themselves enough time in the slightest. They really tried to make a final breaching play work, and it just did not at all. St. Clair kept themselves safe, and between the smoke still being up, ready and waiting with the gases, really kind of funneled them into one spot, where St. Clair as a whole were just able to completely mow them down and take care of another round win as we now go to the gym. Smasho looking to take a switch here. Was playing Thermite last time by, and to be honest, was finding like some good hard destruction, but was not exactly able to get the rest of the team to follow through with it. They're gonna opt to a different operator. This is the Cali this time by. One of 2 sniper characters on the offensive side of things. Sniper is not exactly the most sought-after things here, but I mean this rifle might as well be an op from Counter-Strike, where as long as you hit them, I think it's waist up, it is at least a down but not out.
10 seconds left.
And of course the gadget being able to shoot through
5 seconds left.
believe it's soft and hard barricades and then destroy whatever their gadget is on the other side. Obviously extremely valuable. We kind of started to see Cali getting a little bit more playtime during the last couple rounds of CR6 fall and then the playoffs as well. Of course, with lugging around this gigantic sniper rifle, you are not exactly the quickest of operators, so the diffuser duty is actually going to go over here to Max Payne this time by. Ace Chargers looking to start blowing some holes through this wall. Of course, being on the gym side of things, just go right through this barricade as well, and it looks good so far. It was pretty well uncontested. St. Clair, no electrification operators at all in play. With Cade being taken down, nobody wanted to play the bandit. So they're going to be able to breach through this just fine. It's not going to be the end of the world for St. Clair as long as they're prepared for it, but like whether they're already ready and waiting, or were they surprised that they blew through that so quickly, that is the question. But Big Papa taking down the diffuser carrier nice and quick. Nicely done there, as we do see Platts from the windowsill lobbing in some of those breaching rounds and just making a whole heck of a lot of noise. Smasho holding the long angle for the time being, trying to see if they can make their way towards this diffuser. And a nice shot, actually. Big Papa getting sniped out. That would have been from Smasho. A nice shot. And that long angle hold coming in clutch. We do see Bananas as well taking down Kira. So the 3-on-4 here. Make that a 2-on-4. And make it 1. It's all down to Domo to try and keep the Saints' defensive flawlessness alive. But this is going to be a tall task. Makes the peak. Does find 1, however. It's all up to Smasho and Silence. Who's going to get the jump? If you get the jump on the sniper, you could probably still win this battle. But you still have to worry about the Jackal coming out here. And a nice shot with the shotgun, actually. Domo looking clutch. Does he spot them? He very well might. The diffuser goes down, however, and he drops through the hatch. This is actually kind of brutal. A solid play there from Domo, though, is going to use the smoke to take care of the downed player. He could probably make the defuse. Does Smasho have any sort of answer here at all? Is looking for the angle. Can he find a skull? He's not going to be able to. Domo makes it happen. That's a kind of funny ending replay there, but that was actually kind of clutch. The smoke also stopped Smasho from being able to cleanly run through the steps and make the refrag if necessary. So not only did it take down the fallen player that was already out, but with that, Domo, holy smokes, really keeping Saints' hopes alive here. That one I thought Saints were finally going to drop on defense. Proven me wrong. And like I say time and time again here on the Saints stream, I have absolutely no problem being wrong. In fact, I love to encourage it. So the team's showing me new things and making the plays possible. Keeping the fighting spirit alive. Defensively, on Clubhouse, it just seems like both these teams are just that much better on defense compared to offense. Which in this situation, it looks like Universite de Montreal, they're gonna have to try and make something happen nice and quick. Otherwise, we could be finding ourselves in Saints being able to make the overtake here, possibly take this round or take this game. I mean, momentum's in their favor, but by all means, they are still down in this round. Only leaving yourselves 2 rounds to play with is a rather nerve-wracking scenario, to say the least. But take a quick second here for the clutchness of Domo, getting himself into the double digits in regards to eliminations in this matchup already. Picking up the smoke duty and looking solid while doing it. CCTV, the line of attack here for round number 10. Smasho's going to be playing the long angle from probably the repelled area, but can also go right through this wall and look to damage one of the gadgets on the other side. Kira, of course, is ready and waiting with that bandit battery. Gonna have to try and play around the gadget of Smasho's Cali.
Attackers have located a bomb.
Silence possibly looking to make a play here. Does know that one of the St. Clair members are up on the catwalk. Just going to opt to take the camera out and then reposition himself. You can see the one player, I think it's JMB, still up on the catwalk, ready and waiting. Can they find the jump onto him? He's being pinged out here, so he's kind of in a rough spot. Kira goes down, actually. Bananas going to be taking down the bandit, which means, in theory, this should leave the opening here for Universite de Montreal to go through the main CCTV doors. JMB's being peppered by like 3 or 4 members of Montreal right here, right now, and he's not going to live that. He got completely sandwiched, and now St. Clair's looking for another miracle to try and win out this round. Diffuser's down, but it's just because they didn't want to move forward with it just yet. Smoke grenades coming out early here from Domo. Try and slow things down. Try and force a last-second kind of engagement. Miracle, Domo, and Big Papa try and hold this, and like I was saying before, they're probably not going to be able to hold the door. And sure enough, they haven't been able to. There is a gigantic hole in it already. Big Papa's position's known. Max Payne takes down Miracle. The 2v5, 2v1 now.
Bomb has been located.
And holy smokes, a solid run here. Flawless on the side of Universite de Montreal after Max Payne just went on an absolute killing spree. That's at least a quadra in that round. Holy smokes. Now the pressure is on, however. No more room for error. The only way to possibly win this here for St. Clair is to force overtime. Bringing it to a 6-6 and forcing it to be a 1st to 8 kind of scenario.
Defenders, protect your bombs from being defused by attackers.
Instead of going back to CCTV, they are in fact going to go down to the basement. And they're actually going to put Domo onto Maestro duty for this one specifically and pass the smoke duty over to Kira instead. And on the side of Universite de Montreal, we do have Platts now on the Jackal as well. If anybody wants to get cheeky, he's going to scout them out and track them down and possibly hunt them down. And we do see Miracle on the Vigil looking to play that kind of roamer style. Could get spotted out by Platts if he does spot his footprints. First game point here for Universite de Montreal. One more, and then not only does this mean they're going to go into game 2, which of course, game 2 in the lead and go on the cafe, but this also means that for St. Clair to win the entire series, they have to play on Oregon. And like I was saying during the pregame, Oregon has not been a map that's treated them too nicely in the past. So they'll be kind of at the disadvantage moving forward there. You do see that little red eye. That is the power of Platts' Jackal being able to spot out one player based off of finding footprints.
Martin out. Drone active.
Shots fired right away. Platts going to find his mark. He takes down Miracle as well. The roamer off the table. Platts doing exactly what that operator was supposed to do. Takes care of the roamer, which means the rest of his team can breathe easy, that the flanks are probably going to be covered. And if we take a look at the positioning of St. Clair, they are kind of all like turtled up into positions where you'd probably expect them to be. Nobody coming to attack from behind or anything like that. They can confidently move forward and try to finish off this game. Silent's going to be plowing through some hatches. Does have the diffuser nearby if necessary.
Stay back. Going live.
A little bit of a battle here from below, trying to make sure that this hatch doesn't open. But eventually you just run out of utility. And actually it might be Silence who ran out of utility in that case there. St. Clair doing enough to hold that hatch. You see Visor on looking for footprints once again, but also maybe looking to get a quick pick. We do see 2 St. Clair members off on the A site, 2 on the B site. Split up nicely here. Using some of these smokes, try and give them an opportunity to move forward. Max Payne takes out JM Beast. 30 seconds left on the clock. We have ourselves a 2v3 now, as we have ourselves 2 kills on the side of St. Clair. We have Kira and Domo still sitting there with that double. It's going to be Kira get himself on the board again. Silence does go down, does still have a couple smoke grenades left over. 15 seconds ago. That's a nice kill from Domo. St. Clair's hope to keep going here, but it's a one-on-one. Kira is going to have to try and make it work. Can he survive? He finds the head. He finds Bananas and keeps St. Clair in the game. Bananas had the right idea, however. Doesn't matter how much time you have. If you kill off the entirety of the enemy team, you win the round. So he went right for it, looking to try and take Kira on head on. But unfortunately there for Universite de Montreal, they are not going to win that exchange. And they're going to keep this one close. 5-6 here. Holy moly, back to CCTV we go. It was a solid one for Montreal last time by. It's going to be an absolute banger moving forward here. A different setup as well. Once again, no electrification at all for CCTV, which is usually a massive question mark on my head, but there's a reason why these are the players competing in this match and why I'm just sitting here behind the desk being tackled by a cat while casting this for you guys. But we'll get to see what St. Clair have in mind. We do see Kira on the castle, looking for a little extra whatchamacallit, disruption or interference with these powered up barriers of sorts. And there is no sledge on, oh no, there is a sledge. Platt's actually switched over to sledge, so perfect timing for him to do so there. And Domo just absolutely killing it here for St. Clair, but look at on the side of Universite de Montreal as well. Max Payne and Bananas both going absolutely nuts here in this series so far. We'll get to see if St. Clair can somehow force this to an overtime for game number 1. We're now here on round 12. You need to make this hold in order to keep things going. And then once it gets into overtime, which side the players play on is completely randomized. If they're on the defensive side of things, I would assume that they're actually kind of on the advantage with the way that the match has been so far. But of course, you never know, and it would be a 1st to 8 in that situation. We do get there.
Okay, time to ring some ears.
A bomb has been located.
And sure enough, actually, Platt's going to find Miracle extremely quickly in this fight with still 2 minutes to go. Platt's really making his presence known, just absolutely thrashing through this 2nd floor balcony wall. Going to give him and some other members the ability to just flow freely through that area. And looking to possibly make the play towards A, and once again, this one's looking a little rough here for St. Clair. A 3-on-5, Domo getting peppered down as well. Grenaded out, is he going to be able to survive this? Going to be successfully able to do so, barely moving out of the way just in time, gets taken down. No smokes for you. JM Beast is down. Big Papa, can you reverse ace? That's a tough task. And he is absolutely sandwiched. He's going to find one, actually, but he is going to go down. Platts actually took down Smasho trying to get to Big Papa, but in the end, the round was successfully taken. Universite de Montreal may have taken the skull of their own teammate to get there, but they are going to win this one and move forward in this series in the lead after a solid 7-5 victory here on Clubhouse. Three members on the side of Montreal hitting the double digits in regards to eliminations, and a very, very solid run from Universite de Montreal. Just especially early when they were on defense. They gave up one round and then they just clicked from there. It was a solid job from there. But before we hop in to game number 2, which of course is going to be on Cafe, I'm going to take a very, very brief break. Let the players get themselves a quick breather and give me a quick water break. We'll be right back. Game number 2 right around the corner. Be sure to stay tuned. If you've not done so already, be sure to follow us here on the Saints Gaming CA Twitch channel, as there is still plenty more action coming up this week here for our St. Clair Saints. Starting tomorrow, of course, Saturday 7 p.m., we have TESPA Collegiate Cold War match on Saturday and Sunday. And then we have ourselves a funny little throwback here, as the TESPA Modern Warfare series from last season, a match needs to be redone. So we'll be playing that one Tuesday at 8 o'clock to see if we can actually break ourselves into the top 4 of the TESPA season from last semester. Then on Friday, once again, it's going to be week 2 here for the CollegiateR6 winter season. And then Call of Duty Cold War continues on Saturday. And be sure to follow us on our social medias as well. Of course, Saints Gaming CA on all platforms. And hang tight, Game 2 between St. Clair College and Universite de Montreal just about to get underway. Saints Nation, welcome back to Cafe, as we're about to get started with game number 2. St. Clair had themselves definitely a handful versus Universite de Montreal in that last one, going down 7-5 on Clubhouse. But looking to turn it around here on Cafe, a map that they have been notoriously comfortable with compared to some of the other maps in this series. In regards to bans, we do see Thatcher off the table once again, and this time a Blackbeard actually getting picked off. Don't see that too often. I'm curious if something kind of switched up there to warrant the Blackbeard ban. Because personally, I always saw Blackbeard as more of a pub stopper or a very situational pick. Or is basically just attaching a gigantic shield to his gun, while useful, is not always meant for every scenario. But they're going to take it off the board, and then St. Clair's defensive ban is going to be the Mira. Not want to deal with that operator here tonight. With the bans being as odd as they were, however, a lot of operators were kinda let in by taking Mira out. This means that Malusi is on the table, notoriously annoying for attackers to deal with, between her Banshee gadgets slowing down attackers who try to go through it, and the fact that she herself is just so damn quick, able to rotate constantly, get the jump on the players. It'd be really difficult actually to deal with. I'm looking forward to seeing how St. Clair looks to pull this off, as it's going to be Big Papa piloting this operator. We see the Banshee gadget right there, and it's that little circle is area of effect. As soon as you try to enter this room, you're going to be in for a world of hurt, unless I believe you throw a grenade or get a sledge or something to take it down, because it is also bulletproof.
Inside!
Other thing to note here, for the first time today, we are going to see Gridlock getting picked up, this time here by Smasho, one of those additional operators available to stop any sort of roaming, which I guess Maluzi could very well pull off by pulling down the gadget spike strips. Makes it absolutely brutal, slows you down big time, makes some noise, you get caught up with damage. It makes trying to go through some of the sneaky flanks that much harder to deal with. So I like the little pick here from Smasho here on the side of Universite de Montreal. Of course, this is pretty well standard, especially the fact that St. Clair are holding here on the 3rd floor to start things off. We're going to go to the rooftops and try to work our way down. We do see Max Payne, who's going to probably be eventually looking to breach through this wall. That's exactly what's going to happen here. Move forward does have the assistance from Silence as well to be able to use those additional cameras. Silence makes his way in and instantly reaches for downstairs and leads the charge for Montreal. Banana's still up the rooftop alongside Platts and Smasho. The Silence and Max Payne. Max Payne, who's coming off of a hot game himself, being in the double digits. Big Papa actually getting kind of messed up a little bit here. Was spotted roaming. And right now they're trying their damnedest to hunt them down. Not going to be successful in doing so. Minute 20 still on the clock in this round. Bananas has made his way onto or into the building as well. Silence making these cameras work. The fact that you can just launch these things pretty well anywhere and get yourself a solid sightline like this really makes Zero a really sick operator. And unfortunately there for Big Papa, the roaming and the pathing just led it eventually right into the sight lines of Silence and takes them down real quick. 4-on-4, however, as Kira going to answer right back with an elimination for himself. How about a double? Takes down Platts as well. The Zofia taken off the field here in this round. Domo still has all smokes available ready and ready. Miracle looking for any sort of flankers. He actually could possibly see the Gridlock throwing one of those spikes, or he was trying to go through some of the barbed wire on the floor. Could have spotted it out, helped the team rotate. Kira looking to possibly find himself a 3rd elimination here in this round.
10 seconds to go.
Shots fired by JMB. It's going to be a back-and-forth battle. Miracle getting into it as well. Right on sight. There's 2 players ready and waiting. Domo, Cookie Bear, ready with the smokes. Going to make it work. And unfortunately, I had the wrong point of view apparently in that battle. St. Clair going to take care of it, however, after a timeout. Nobody was able to get that diffuser down. Okay, very similarly to the last game, St. Clair taking round number 1, but can they hold it from here is the question. I'm sure they would love to go on an absolute tear to start things off. Cade being left on the table compared to last game as well. JMB is going to pilot that operator, make some of those electro claws work in his favor.
Defenders, protect your bombs from being defused by attackers.
All the way down to the 1st floor this time. Oftentimes, what you'll end up seeing here in this site, it would be this entrance right here. Oftentimes, you'll see the attackers come in from this side, slowly try to creep their way over. Oftentimes, what we'll see from Saints, there is a little bit of a counter here that you can hide behind, and then all the bombs themselves in this room. Just a matter of trying to breach through here. You won't oftentimes see teams try to go roof down, but sometimes it'll still happen if somebody is worried about roamers. So we'll have to see how confident Universite de Montreal is in their play to take down and deal with roamers. They do have the gridlock once again, which could very well funnel any roamers back to a place that they're already guarding anyway. And of course, you have silence on the 0 as well. Has been rather effective so far here today. Next painting on the ace as well. Bananas doing a solid job on the Ash earlier and continues to do just that moving forward. We now see Bananas looking to make their way in. Sure enough, from the first floor, just going to go straight through, it looks like, but they're going to go from the other side and try to make their way through. Interesting, and fun facts there. A nice little play there from Silence. Another thing that I totally forgot to mention is those cameras can shoot and destroy gadgets. That is quite the gadget you got there, Zero. And Silence, you're doing a fantastic job of making that work for you. Platts, however, getting peppered a little bit from one of the St. Clair members. Wasn't able to get to see who quite got a piece of him there. Some gigantic holes moving forward here, though. Lots of sight lines for UDM to make something work here. Minute 30 left on the clock. We do see Big Papa actually trying to make a play here. Right by the site. Domo moving forward alongside Kira as well.
Activating Selma sequence.
And Miracle actually going to get the jump from above on to Smasho. So we do have the gridlock off the table as the chaos starts to ensue right at this 1 minute mark. Kira on site, and we're just going to see everybody get dropped here, it looks like. Kira and Domo left alive. Bananas does go down, but it's a 2-on-2 now. Domo going to secure it with the gas, but that being said, it's all up to Domo, as now Kira has been dropped, and Max Payne going to turn us around, and we may have ourselves a bit of a deja vu from last round, or last game rather, as we see a solid play there from Max Payne, a good call out from his teammate to point out, just shoot through the wall, you might be able to get him from there, and a solid play there. I know personally I might be feeling a little bit of a deja vu after that one, but hopefully for the mindset of St. Clair, that is not going through their minds as we go into round number 3. Looking to try and make this first floor work for them again. But it was quite the nice change of pace from UDM. Rather than going straight in towards the normal location, it looked like they kind of came through the back door a little bit. And eventually were able to overwhelm them on the sites at the end of the day, but completely ignoring this whole section that I was saying was probably going to be the contested area. Like I said before, I like to be wrong.
10 seconds left before insertion. 5 seconds left before insertion.
This will slow them down.
Attacker's objective is to defuse a bomb.
You can stop worrying about grenades now. Unrolling razor wire.
Same lineup here for Universite de Montreal as we move forward for round number 3.
Deploying ADS.
Matcher still on the gridlock, still have Max Payne ready to make something happen there on the ace. Picking himself 3 eliminations so far here in this game. Almost the highest. Highest on his team, but Kira sitting there with 4 in the game. And make that 5 as he takes down Platts real quick into this one. Putting St. Clair in fantastic position. Still extremely early, though. Anything can happen. Just a little bit of a pump of the brakes, if you will, for Universite de Montreal. And Bananas, sure enough, going to come in clutch here. Does take down Kira with the refrag. Max Payne, Silence all going into contest here. right on this first floor itself. Silence taking some decent damage. Once again, going to be looking to try and make the play on that the Cade Claw from the drone hole once again. Makes the shot. Does St. Clair know what they're doing? They do destroy it before the Claw gets destroyed. So good timing for the defender on the other side for St. Clair. Max Payne looking to start blowing a hole through this door. Bananas going to be the one to start things off. And going to try to use this as the opportunity to take down as much of this wall as possible. Bananas on the other side looking for flankers as well. You can see, slowly but surely, those ace gadgets just tear a hole right through the floor. It's going to force some smoke grenades coming out from Domo, and it's going to get chaotic. It's going to get chaotic quick, as we are now down to the last minute once again here. Let's see how much we can catch. JM Beast does end up going down. Max Payne finding the kill there. Domo gets found from below. One member left from St. Clair, and it is all down to Big Papa to somehow clean up the 4 players of Universite de Montreal. And time is not in their favor either. Diffuser goes down, not able to win that gunfight against Bananas. And here we go again. Montreal looking to set this up to possibly run away with it. Saving grace here in this situation for St. Clair, of course, is the fact that they can now go back to the area that they won on. Enough time was spent elsewhere that they can now go back and look to see how they can hang on to this. Of course, before we do get started with round number 4, however, I do, of course, want to give a big thank you to the sponsors that, of course, make Saints, the St. Clair Saints Gaming in general possible, of course, making these broadcasts a thing. Of course, big thank you, St. Clair College Alumni Association, EC Outlet, Zuckelman School of Business and IT, St. Clair Student Representative Council, and Tim Hortons.
Swapping megs.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds left.
Looking at the St. Clair side of things, like taking a look at some of the performances from players as of right now, I do feel kind of bad saying it, but it looks like the swap here to Miracle having a bit of a slow start of sorts, but not everything comes out the gates swinging right away. Miracle had a couple good rounds during the game number 1, don't get me wrong, and does have an elimination so far in this series, but a bit of a slow start, but at the same time, could have a slow start and still be legendary. Ask Regigigas.
Selma sequence activated. Track sting is active.
Game round 4, attackers, of course, already on their way. Going to be starting to tear through the rooftops here once again. They know St. Clair wants to go back up to this 3rd floor, and they're going to adjust their attack accordingly. But by adjustments, there's not going to be much of it. If anything, it's just going to be Platts here on the sledge. A nice little peek, actually, onto Kira. Can he finish him off? He's going to be able to successfully do so without getting his head taken off. Nice play, Platts. Those Argus cameras just absolutely everywhere. There is nothing that Silence cannot see, it seems. And being able to also take down gadgets, that's also pretty ridiculous in the best way possible, don't get me wrong. Max Payne moving forward. He does spot one. He's going to get completely blasted. That isn't Rapid. That's Domo with the shotgun ready to work and takes care of that one. 4-on-4, lots of hurt health bars here, or 2 hurt health bars rather. Platts took some damage from that battle repelling earlier. And Domo, although he was able to blast Max Payne away, did not go unscathed, down to a quarter of his HP. And in fact, is going to end up going down. Shots through the wall. It's going to be Domo going down. Actually getting the elimination with the spike strip from Gridlock. So solid play there for the side of Universite de Montreal, as we now have in the smoke Smasho right there ready and putting the diffuser down. Miracle turns his back at the wrong time and is going to get blasted for it. Huge play for Bananas. It is now once again, how many times do I have to say it here this game? It's Big Papa versus the world. Not exactly a 1v5, but it's still extremely difficult. Does find one, but unfortunately he's kind of stuck in the position where he has to go out headhunting, and it's not always going to go in your favor that way. Silence going to do just that to some of the hopes for St. Clair taking that round. After spotting Big Papa poke out from the hole, lights him up, takes care of that one. This kind of feels like a Hail Mary to me here, going to this second floor reading room here for St. Clair, and opting to just be as obnoxious as possible in regards to movement disruption and gadget disruption.
Attackers need to locate and defuse
It screams to me lack of confidence, but this very well could be specifically this site kind of thing. At this reading room, being dead center in the middle of the hallway lets you get attacks from pretty well all angles. Above, below, sideways, does not matter. You're going to be peppered on for one way or another. So we'll get to see if this pick for St. Clair is going to end up mustering any success, as we now have Big Papa off of the... I think he was on the Maluzi last time. Going to be switching over to the Mozi.
5 seconds left. Attackers must locate and defuse a bomb. The attacker's bomb diffuser has been dropped. Attackers have recovered their diffuser.
Okay, attack underway. Let's see how Platts and the rest of this Universite de Montreal squad can pull off this attack. Silence been pretty well unstoppable. Max Payne got picked out pretty early in the last round, but otherwise has been doing absolutely fantastic. Smasho, the carrier, and keeping the flankers away, doing a successful job with that as well.
Loading mag.
Papa and Miracle close, and Kira on the steps as well. The attackers continue to move forward here.
A bomb has been located.
A-site spotted, and Platts going to continue to make JMB's game this time. Just this one hurts so far here for JMB's. No assists, no elimination so far in this game. Speaking of slow starts, but let's hope he can turn this one around. A nice spot here for Platts. Another successful takedown. Might be able to find himself another right around the corner. I do believe that was Domo. I don't know what happened there for Universite de Montreal with all these number spams. Maybe they forgot to reprogram their bot or something. Oh, just JK. Obviously, there's nothing bot about this. These guys are just sick. Diffuser in the smoke, gonna make it work. Domo does manage to find down or take down Max Payne. But once again, another rough spot for St. Clair. Cleaned up. Platts gets himself a quadra this round. Nicely done. Just barely spot the kneecaps of the player in that situation. Lights him up, takes him down, and it's looking like deja vu. I know I mentioned it earlier, but now it's really feeling like it. As we St. Clair is now down 1-4 once again. definitely an eye-opener here for this St. Clair squad. Cafe was one of their go-to maps in the last season. So to see them look kind of lost in this one is rather surprising. But it could be another situation where maybe their attack is just that much better, and then they'll make something happen at the halftime. But how much are they going to bleed before they get to that point? Of course, this being the halftime match right here, right now, going to be switching sides after this one. Beast now on his tried and true, picking the Maestro up. Hopefully the switch to a comfort pick will jumpstart his game here today.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds left before insertion.
We are protected.
Attackers are moving to defuse a bomb.
Let's ride along with Bananas here as we go towards the attack once again. All the way up on the 3rd floor, probably going to make our way to the rooftops to start off this attack.
I need to reload.
What is Silence doing over here? It did manage to find himself a cheeky little camera spot, and looked like possibly take some pot shots at the Banshee, but it doesn't look like it's going to go down, so interesting little angle there. But as I was admiring angles, I should have been admiring yet another elimination here from Platts from the rooftops, taking Big Papa out.
Deployed stingers. Track stingers activated. Activating Selma sequence.
Rooftops down, looking to get their move on. Still have plenty of time to make this work as well. 2 minutes, shots fired from the window still. Platts looking to find one of the players of St. Clair. Not going to make contact with anybody, however. Going to retreat back to the rooftops and look for another entry. Silence in the building. Bananas not too far behind as well. Spots the Maestro camera, but of course he can't just punch it away. Silence going to get jumped on there. Solid shot from Domo. Does have the smoke grenades available. Going to block off the doorway so they don't chase him down, but he did not take any damage in this situation, so it's not the end of the world here for Domo. The 4v5 onslaught continues here against St. Clair. Platts does go down. Miracle makes the play from behind the counter here at the B site. Does take him down. Looking for maybe another one. Makes his position known, but is not going to find anybody in this scenario. Kira peeks for just a second. Doesn't see anybody, but he got spotted, losing over half of his HP in that process. Miracle peppered still under this countertops. He feels pinned down in this situation. Needs some covering fire, and that's exactly where Domo comes in as well. Tries to take some of the heat off of his teammates. Miracle still looking for somebody.
Reloading, cover me.
Nobody found. Beast has his angle covered. Nobody's been attacking that area just yet, but you never know. And try and make something work on the cameras. Miracle still stuck, continuing to get peppered by Universite de Montreal in this situation.
Attackers have recovered their diffuser.
That being said, St. Clair aren't the ones who have to move in this situation. We're down to the last 15 seconds. Miracle finding one, but can he find another? He got completely saved by Beast, and Miracle secures the last elimination. And St. Clair are going to stop the bleeding right when they need it to, right at halftime. It may have felt like I was giving Beast a hard time from that angle, but sometimes you just gotta hold it, because eventually it'll happen, and it came in absolute clutch. The crossfire there from Beast, able to stop the player who was making the move onto Miracle, and allowed Miracle to clean up with, I think that was a triple total in that round. Nicely done. We'll now get to see the difference of styles between these attacks and defenses on the side of St. Clair. I was kind of hoping to see the Yang come out here, but it's not going to be the case. Kira going to opt for the Zafia instead.
Attackers need to locate and defuse bombs.
And now for the defensive side of things, silence. Of course, you can't play 0 on defense, so gonna have to pick up the echo in this case. Gonna be the camera, drone, and disruption, or diffuser disruption master in this situation. Platt's gonna be picking up the Melusi in this situation. Bananas on Jaeger duty. Max Payne on the Wamai. And Smasho back on the Legion. Meanwhile, for St. Clair, we don't get to quite see them just yet in this situation. However, Big Papa is going to be on the sledge. Domo Cookie Bear picking up the Nomad, going to be filling the similar role that Smasho's Gridlock was doing. But instead of having the spike strips, you will have air jabs. Of course, like I was saying in previous casts, but with those air jabs, you walk in front of it, if an enemy walks in front of it, you could get blasted with air, get knocked right on your rear, wide open for an attack, and making a massive noise. Really making it obvious that you're there. Miracle going to be on the Ash, and now you can see 1 or 2 rounds is all it takes. Now he's back in there, 4 eliminations and an assist here in this game. Kira on the Zofia, leading the team with 5, and then JM Beast making the support play work on the Maverick this time for a little additional hard breach. May have only the 1 elimination, but arguably that 1 elimination was way more clutch than a numerical value can add. Going to be taking his time here, slowly breaching through this wall with his flamethrower, but he's going to need cover. And I think he does have some cover in Kira from the windowsill. Well, I think Big Papa is nearby as well. Domo still up in the rooftops. JM Beast, and okay, yeah, Miracle is right there alongside him. But eventually use the breaching round. They are going to slowly but surely be able to move forward in this site. They're going to get caught up by the Banshees, so going to give their position away. Miracle going to try and find himself a different angle of attack. Getting a little feisty at this 1-minute 20-second mark. Big Papa getting lit up just ever so slightly from the doorway. Going to try and put some covering fire on. He's going to get out just in time. Miracle now alongside Big Papa and JM Beast looking to try and move forward once again. Breaching round in hand. Big Papa gets lit up. That's going to be the Melusi. It's going to be Platts making it work. Then Max Payne takes down Kira. JM Beast gets lit. There goes Miracle as well. And Domo versus the world from the rooftops. Gonna drop in, get lit, taken down. Universite de Montreal on a roll once again. Excuse me. All right. After a successful defense for their first round, it's going to be all the way down to the first floor once again. Platts, Max Payne leading the charge here for the side of Universite de Montreal once again. 9 limbs and 8 limbs respectively, but the rest of the team have been absolutely where they needed to be. But of course, eliminations are not everything. Information cannot be judged by a scoreboard.
Attackers need to locate and defuse as many bombs as they can. Seconds remaining. 5 seconds to go.
Claw is active.
Attackers are moving out to locate a bomb and defuse it.
Okay, round number 8, and right now Universite de Montreal in fantastic position, of course, sitting there with a 5-2 lead in this game. And of course, they won the last game as well, so not only match point, but or not only game point, but match point right around the corner for them if they could secure themselves 2 more victories in this series. Of course, Saints want to shut that down nice and quick. I know some of these players have been rather excited for this winter season, and it's hard to go up against a team like Universite de Montreal first round, where it's an absolute secret powerhouse. It looks like we were rated 2nd in the group. Montreal was rated 3rd, but that being said, looking at the way they're playing, they are definitely slept on in the slightest. And oh, sneaky play there from Silence. Oh, you want to put a blowtorch there. Oh, you made a hole for me? Thank you. Nitro Cell takes him down. Was a diffuser carrier as well. Domo going to pick it up in the meantime. But JM Beast has just not had any luck. It seems like Montreal has had his number from the get-go. And St. Clair kind of scattered here. Bit odd to see, but I'm sure I'll close it up nice and quick. Big Papa inside. Everybody's pretty much inside as of this moment. Miracle moving forward. Domo going to be looking from the outside here, trying to give his team some covering fire. He is kind of pinning down some members, and Miracle going to find the first elimination. Takes down Platts, shutting down his hot streak. Currently sitting there, of course, with 9 eliminations, was on an absolute tear. But a huge boost of motivation here from Miracle if he can keep pushing and keep making the plays. But I think there's actually somebody behind him that you may not realize. Domo gets taken down, rather, as Silence finds him here. That Banshee going to make things difficult for the moment, but going to get rid of it. 3-on-4 with 30 seconds left. Still got a little bit of time to work with. Kira going to be the one picking up the diffuser in this situation. Miracle going to try and make the play from above. He's going to spot a couple. Can he get some shots? He lights it up, but he's not going to be able to make contact until the very end. He does take down Max Payne and does not take any fire in return. So it's going to allow Kira to jump on in, but he's not going to win that fight. The K is going to be Smasho right there, going burr all over Kira in this case. And 7 seconds to go, and it's all up to Big Papa versus 3. Finds one, but he's not going to find another. Bananas takes him down. Match point. Universite de Montreal. Can St. Clair break this reading room? Try to move forward here in this series. Last time they were in a really rough spot. I think it was about 5-1. I think it was 5-1, and they were able to bring it back to a 6-5 until they eventually lost in 7-5 fashion. But I tell you what, this Universite de Montreal team looks fantastic on attack, fantastic on defense here on Cafe. You can tell it's something they've constantly been playing on, been practicing on. And it's really going to tell right here, right now, where, like I was saying before, this second floor reading room is a rather uncomfortable site to try and hold compared to the other two. So if they can win this one and make it look easy, it's just going to be essentially the tail of the tape with how this match has been.
Placing proximity alarm.
Reloading!
10 seconds. 5 seconds left before insertion. Attackers are moving out to locate a bomb and defuse it.
Possibly one more time here for St. Clair to shape up versus Universite de Montreal as they are on match point. They've left themselves no more wiggle room. It has to be essentially perfection moving forward here.
Drone spinning up. Window barricade.
Okay, so Miracle and Domo going to be the first ones into the building itself, slowly moving forward, of course. So now with this reading room hold, they could try to make something happen from above, and it looks like they're going to try and do that here with Miracle on this A site, with a little bit of additional support from Kira and Domo. Domo has a little bit of additional soft breach as well, if necessary. That being said, between this Banshee going off and there being a player from St. Clair right around the corner. That wasn't a Banshee, that was just a sensor. My bad, that's not a Banshee. But able to give their position away nonetheless, giving all sorts of intel over to the side of Montreal. Could be scary. We think that was an air jab going off. No, that was a...
Torch is hot.
I'm going to assume that was a yokai drone shot coming out here from Max Payne. And as you can tell, like with everything, like your peripheral vision just getting absolutely messed up. Basically a similar effect to that we see from an alum mine. And another shot coming out as well, really making Kira's life absolutely miserable. Looks to try and maybe take a fight as well, but it's not exactly the position you really want to try and make it happen in. Yeah, Kira in an extremely uncomfortable position. Is going to take out the mute jammer, but still in such a weird spot. Big Papa is actually getting flanked upon, but the free frag is going to happen right away. Kira eventually does find Platts, however. The Jaeger off the board. 4 on 3. Another jammer down, looking to try and make something happen. Where is JM Beast in all of this? Actually, shots fired here by Kira once again. You see a player right down on the second floor. Miracle getting shot down. Kira and JM Beast trying to find him. He does find Bananas. Gonna give JM Beast the opportunity to try and speed through, but right as he does it once again, this Maverick, they'd have an answer for it every single time. It's going to be Kira versus 2. This is much more doable. 1v1 with St. Clair's
15 seconds to go. Attackers have
game life here on the line. 10 seconds to plant this thing or somehow hunt the player down.
5 seconds to go.
Trying to peek as many corners as possible by shooting. He gives his position away, and he's actually not even going to plant the diffuser. Assumes that his life was gone. So Universite de Montreal going to take this in 2-0 fashion in a much more convincing game number 2 here on Cafe. Fantastically done. GG's. But a solid match nonetheless. That first game there from these two teams was an absolute turned into a back and forth after what looked like it was going to be dominant. But then game number 2, unfortunately for our St. Clair squad, was just not going to happen here today. You can tell that they were a little bit shaken up by the end of that one, and I do not blame them. Universite de Montreal being the better team here in this game, starting off the series with an on-paper upset over us, considering we are a seed 2 and they were a seed 3, so a solid job there nonetheless. Looking at what we would assume the results would then be from Akron and Virginia Tech, that's happening at the same time. I would assume that Akron takes that one. Those players are also extremely phenomenal, so I would assume they would take that over Virginia Tech being seen as the last seed in our group. We'll have to see. I'm personally going to be following Universite de Montreal a little bit more as well as this group goes on as well, because they may have been the 3rd seed, but they looked quite well today, and I want to see if they can keep it up. With that being said, of course, still good games all around. St. Clair still have plenty of time to bring this back. This is a shorter season. I believe it is 3 or 4 weeks of competition before playoffs, but still have a little bit of wiggle room. Hop into the lobby, and I'm sure they'll be able to pull this one around. But that's a good squad we have there still, and I'm still completely faithful that they'll be able to make something happen moving forward in this season. But speaking about later on in the season, do want to go over our schedule for the rest of this week and going into next week as well, of course, as we have TESPA Cold War, Call of Duty, of course, happening on tomorrow at 7 p.m., as well as Sunday at 7 p.m. And then we're going to be in for a lot of Call of Duty, as we're actually going to hop on to Modern Warfare one more time, as the last semester season got a little bit messed up after a team got called out for an improper roster. So we're going to have another matchup. Team that ended up taking us out was that team that was booted out or disqualified. So we get to play and see if we happen to land ourselves into the top 4, moving up from the top 8. So that'll be a sick one to see, 8 o'clock. Looking forward to messing with the codcaster on that one. Oh dear. But anyway, if you're here for Rainbow Six Siege, of course, this CR6 or the Collegiate R6 winter season continues December 11th, Friday at 8 p.m. Not sure which team we play yet. It's either going to be Akron, which of course, Akron is a fantastic squad. I look forward to seeing how our Saints can hold up against them. And then Virginia Tech, who I personally have not gotten the opportunity to see just yet, but looking forward to seeing nonetheless. Like I said before, I'm always down to be wrong. So even though this team is the 4th seed, if they give our Saints a run for their money, I'm definitely down to see that. At the end of the day, I just want to see a good match here. Then on Saturday, we have more Call of Duty TESPA action. Should be the second or the final week once we reach, not tomorrow, but next Saturday. So be sure to follow us here on the Saints Gaming CA channel. Make sure you don't miss a beat. Well, with that, that'll close out our coverage here tonight for the season opener for the Collegiate R6 winter season. Universite de Montreal taking us in 2-0 fashion, 7-5 in Game 1 and 7-2 Game 2. GG's all around. I look forward to seeing everybody next time. And before we do close out, of course, do want to thank sponsors that do make the St. Clair Saints happen. Of course, that being St. Clair College, the St. Clair College Alumni Association, and CollegiateR6. The Seckelman School of Business and IT, PC Outlet, and Tim Hortons. Would not be able to do it without all of you. And also a big thank you to everybody tuning in, supporting your friends, your family, your classmates, or even just your esports program in general. I know when I was looking at the chat a little bit earlier, I saw members from both sides, and that's what I absolutely love to see. I mean, I love talking to the St. Clair Saints community constantly, don't get me wrong, but it's also quite heartwarming to see teams from other, or people from other teams come to support the stream and support their teams as well. Absolute pleasure bringing the broadcast to you as often as we do. But with that, we'll close out for tonight. Big thank you again for everyone tuning in, and I will end up seeing you tomorrow for some Collegiate Cold War TESPA Call of Duty.